Hello, hi, welcome to GMA Talk, Global Mission Advocacy Talk, your most favorite, your most fantabulous, your most fantastic, your most awesome talk show right here on YouTube and all your favorite social media platforms. Say it with me, GMA Talk. Thank you very much for tuning in this week on yet another exciting and lovely episode of GMA Talk, where we bring all the leaders in the world of refugees right here in Canada and around the world, whether it's in the refugee camp, urban cities, villages, small cities, everywhere. Refugees around the world needs our support. Refugees around the world need advocates. Refugees around the world need activists to advocate for their rights, to advocate for the daily basic needs. So, you might be wondering what we are gonna cover today right here on GMA Talk, GMA Talk, GMA. So, education. In the great words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change your life and to change your nation, to change your community, to change your society. Education is a very, very powerful weapon which takes people from poverty, which takes people from suffering, which can take people from hardship to living the life that they desire for themselves and for those around them and for the society, for the nation, and implement some much needed change. So, and in the words of Malcolm X, he said, education is the passport to the future. So, whether it's vocational training, whether it's traditional institute, whether it's self-learning, whether it's looking for information online, whether it's learning from social media, whether it's learning from people, there are different levels and different ways of education. So don't be limited to education. Don't be limited to the traditional institutions. Don't be limited to just until you're having an instructor teaching you. Everything and everywhere nowadays you are being taught, you are learning, you are finding education. So, but today, refugees education. Around the world, millions of people this week have gone back to school, and this month they will continue going back to school and months upcoming. And some have to be delayed. Some have to delay their going back to school because of a recent COVID-19 and pandemic which we are in. So today I really want to emphasize and touch on education for refugees around the world, especially those refugees living in refugee camps around the world. Access to education is very, 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 when I say very, 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 very limited. So you're finding most of the time in a refugee camp there is no vocational training, or there's no formal education. You're finding often from a refugee camp, these refugees cannot even go to the city and access education, either to limitation of government authorities or financial support. So there are a lot of challenges which refugees face in terms of education in a refugee camp. So as this week and this month millions of people around the world are going back to school, let's remember the most vulnerable around us, among us, they are not able to access education. According to the UNHCR, 48% currently of school-age children among refugees are not able to go to school at the moment. And also, among refugees, only 77% who are enrolled in primary school and 31% are enrolled in secondary school. And imagine this, only 3%, these three, uno, dos, trois, un, deux, trois, moja, mbili, tatu, 1, 2, 3, which other language I know to count, xa, 3% of refugees are accessing higher levels of education. This is in terms of university, colleges, or higher vocational training of their career path that they want to go into. So you and I, we can change this 3%. You and I, we can change this 31%. You and I, we can change this 77% of people who are enrolled in primary school, of 77% to higher, of 31% people who are enrolled in secondary school. We can change this. Of 3% of people who are enrolled in higher education, higher institution. We can change this by supporting UNHCR initiative and programs of access, allowing and providing refugees education, and the UNICEF programs of providing and allowing school children to access education, and there are other intergovernmental and international organizations and non-profit organizations which work very hard to bring education to the refugees, whether it's in the refugee camp, whether it's in urban settings, whether it's providing scholarship opportunities to go abroad or to the city to access education. So education. Please be informed about the educational opportunities, access to refugees in your country, in your community, in your society, and how you can play a role to help refugees access education, to help refugees thrive. Because when refugees thrive, their new homes thrive, and also hopefully in the future their former home or their birthplace where they come from, it will also prosper as a result of them being equipped with education, of knowledge, of various experience, which can help both of the new home and also the former home. So let's push governments, please invest in refugee education. Please institute programs of sponsorship for refugee education. Please bring in regulations and laws which allow and facilitate refugees to access education in the country and abroad. Please provide documentation to refugees who have opportunity for scholarship opportunities or to be sponsored for opportunities around the world. So that's it for today. Love, peace, and unity, education, please. Oh, and beside refugees, great luck and the very best to everybody who's going back to school or planning to go back to school. These times are very hard. These times are very challenging. So love, peace, and unity. Enjoy every step of the way, whether it's online, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's in classroom, whether it's in the park, whether it's under the, whether it's in the building. Please adhere to all health measures in your country, in your institutions, in your community, and please wear mask where it's not possible to keep the distance requires in the place. Wish everybody the best. Education itself is not an easy journey. Now imagine in these challenging times having access or going back to school. So there are a lot of other things to keep in mind as you are continuing to pursue your education, so that you can achieve your dreams and goals or live the life that you desire for yourself and other people. So to all the students and future students, the very best to you. I really wish you the very best. Study hard, take great care of yourself, talk to people, don't be afraid to seek for help, don't be afraid to seek for support. We are all in this together, and together we will come out of this. So love, peace, and unity, and good luck, and God bless. And right here on GMA Talk, stay tuned for next week's topic, where we're gonna have a guest. I think this is now the second video we don't have a guest, so Stay tuned, you don't want to miss the guest of next week. We're gonna be talking about refugees integration and socio-economic benefits of refugees right here in Canada and around the world. So GMA Talk, please don't forget to subscribe.